Hello and welcome from Budapest. This is Hungary Reports from Public Media M1, bringing you the latest news from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin in English. I'm Árpád Szőci. Great that you can join us. Hungary's majority-ruling Fidesz party has again re-elected Viktor Orbán as its president at the Fidesz Congress. Orbán, who is also the Hungarian prime minister, said that the party is in good shape and that things will just get better. He also talked about Christian freedom and dealing with the policies of Brussels. And he added that Hungary is not alone in that.
This is how the re-election of Prime Minister Viktor Orbán as the president of the bigger governing party was announced at the election congress of the Fidesz. Viktor Orbán said that Fidesz is well organized, generational renewal is going well, and the real big things are just coming right now. He stated that an agreement needs to be reached between the two sides of Europe. However, there are clear conditions for that, such as, for example, that we have the right to live our lives according to the rules of Christian freedom. Christian freedom is not an abstract political thing. It is indeed concrete and clear. Patriots instead of cosmopolitans. Patriotism instead of internationalism. Marriage and family instead of promoting same-sex couples. Protection of our children instead of drug liberalization. Border protection instead of migration, the Prime Minister said. He also stated that the decisive battle is going on in the coming decades over the sovereignty of Hungary. However, as he put it, we are not alone in the struggle. As a member of a prestigious vanguard of Poles, Czechs, Slovakians and Hungarians, I hope from tonight on Austrians again, and it is only a matter of time that Italian freedom gains power again, and after them others may come also, he added. The Prime Minister emphasized that these are the countries who do not want Brussels empire. Instead, they want the alliance of nations. This is why, as he said, they refuse to have European money further finance the group of Soros-associated NGO groups that are against them. Viktor Orbán also stated that Hungary, in the coming decades, will finally leave poverty behind. Everybody will have jobs, homes and decent retirement. The Prime Minister ended his speech with the usual tone of inspiration.
Magyarország mindenek előtt, a Jóisten mindannyiunk fölött. Hajrá Magyarország, hajrá magyarok!
This year's grape harvest has been particularly successful in areas which had undergone spraying. Vintners are already halfway through the season's grape harvest, and they say that they might even be able to increase exports depending on their marketing campaign. Last year's exports were already 50% more than the year before.
They are picking Cabernet Franc in the wine region of Villány. The weather is perfect right now. It is not too warm, not too cold, perfect. And we focus on picking healthy bunches of grapes and removing any dry ones from them. We also make sure that they're ripe, said Livia Bilitsky. The early kinds are already in cellars now. Only the harvest of full-bodied kinds are left. The grapes come from the mountains to the cellars and then here to the sorting table. Damaged berries and insects are taken off by hand. Only fully healthy fruits can get into the containers. The vintners of Villány are satisfied with the harvest. However, quantity may be less than it was last year, but in quality they expect an outstanding vintage. This vintage is among the best. We are really lucky with the weather. We got an enough amount of everything during the summer and in the autumn period as well. So we are after half of the harvest, and now we pick the middle ripe and late ripe grapes, the oenologist said. Farmers export grapes from Villány to the Chinese market and to the Benelux states. According to a vintner, since grapes are of good quality, so will the wine also. New markets need to be looked at. Poland appears to be likely candidate. There was wine tasting at different spots on the last day of the 79th National Agricultural and Food Exhibition. Opinions were consistent. There is no more delicious wine than the Hungarian, be it either white or red. Each wine is good for some reason. There are wine regions where, because of the high amount of sunlight, we can produce really deep flavored, fruity wines. There are regions where, thanks to the volcanic soil, it is possible to produce wines with high acid content. It is unique to all wine regions why wines from there are delicious, said the sommelier. According to vintners, it is true for the whole country that, similarly to last year, there were no complaints about the quality of the wines this year. This way, with the help of a good promotion campaign, export could be further increased. Last year, more than 800,000 hectoliters of wine were sold abroad, which is almost 50% more as 1 year before. According to professionals, events like this year's National Agricultural and Food Exhibition provide a great opportunity for the promotion of Hungarian wine and other national products. The Minister for Agriculture emphasized that the event shows the best of Hungarian agriculture for more than a decade. The oldest and most traditional mustering of Hungarian agriculture was successful. We could offer a little taste of our fine quality products, free of agricultural ingredients, as well as being GMO-free, and our unique Hungarian specialties, and the professionality of Hungarian agriculture and its dynamically developing everyday activities, said the minister. Altogether, 680 exhibitors could show their products to a record number of more than 80,000 visitors. It all played out over an area of 40,000 square meters on the recently concluded exhibition and market, the center of which was the Hungarian food industry.
This weekend's two-day running fest at the Budapest Spar Marathon culminated on Sunday with the big race itself, 42 kilometers along the most spectacular sights of the Hungarian capital. The winner of the men's clocked in at 2 hours and 23 minutes. People from all walks of life took part, including colleagues from public TV. The main goal is to get people active in sports.
Almost 6,000 amateur and professional runners lined up at the start area for the classic Spar Budapest Marathon. I wasn't able to prepare as much this year, so my main goal was to be able to finish this distance, said this runner. Sports people with disabilities also participated in the race. Many do it year after year because they'd like to show that they're capable of doing such events. Besides the fact that we're in wheelchairs or we're disabled, we're the same people and know how to do sports. We can also knock off the same number of kilometers, said this competitor. And right at 9 o'clock, the State Secretary for Sports, Tünde Szabó, opened the competition. Racers from more than 1,000 settlements in Hungary came to compete. We see that we in this small country are crazy about this. It would be good if even more ran or got active, but those who run here are happy. You are fantastic. I think that with this, Budapest is one of Europe's newest running cities, said the director of the event. Competitors ran along the capital's finest sights. They could run individually or in relays. Public media M1's team ran as relay competitors. Renata Kucsov handed the baton to news reporter Csaba Radnai, and they finished within the time limit they set for themselves. The plan was that we finish the race within 4 hours, so that basically everyone does their distance in 1 hour, and I hit the finish line at 3 hours, 50 minutes and some seconds. They made it happen for me. All I had to do was bring in the imaginary baton at the end. It was nothing, said the TV host Balázs Németh. For M1 reporter András Víg, it was the 10th time he ran the 42-kilometer marathon. Up to about the 10-kilometer mark, I was just eating up the kilometers, but then they started eating me up. At about 20 kilometers, I was very tired, and starting at 30 kilometers, everything hurt. The fact that I made it to the finish line is a wonder itself, said our reporter. Finishing first in the men's was Péter Jenkai of the Vasas Sport Club of Budapest. Altogether, 31,000 competitors took part in 2 days of races at the Spar Budapest Marathon.
Lovers of rather different art might want to check out an exhibition dealing with boat wrecks as its theme at the Templom Gallery in Eger in northern Hungary. It features the installation of Rudolf Szilágyi and the graphic works of László Madaras, and it can all be viewed until October 13th. And 2 additional works by the world-renowned Hungarian painter Mihály Munkácsy are now on display at an exhibition on him in the southern city of Pécs. Both paintings were done when he was younger. One is from the 1860s, showing its Biedermeier influences. The other is from 1872 and was done after Munkácsy had moved to Paris. It also had not been publicly viewed before. This Munkácsy collection, the largest ever from a private collection, can be seen at the M21 Gallery in Pécs until November 10th. And that's all for now. But we'll be back again the next night, live, right after the news in Hungarian at 11 p.m. local time. You can also catch us in repeats and online. Please stay tuned now, if time permits, for our new shows in German, Russian, and Chinese. Thanks very much for watching, and viszontlátásra.